All right. Well, hi, folks. Steven here. So, in preparation for an upcoming music discussion, I'm doing a live stream of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, as well as the remake um, Rescue Team DX for the Switch tonight. Obviously, this is one of the most highly regarded side series in Pokemon in regards to um, it's music, so we're expecting quite a bit here. Although I did want to point out a few things. Right now we're inside Treasure Town. And if I talk here, playing this currently on the Wii U via the Virtual Console, which has some DS games. Notice that I press select. That sound effect there, this was a cross-generational hardware game. This was on the DS as well as the whatchamacallit, the Game Boy Advance, and thus it still has some limitations like that beep. The DS is capable of something a little more interesting than that, but I think they were just kind of stuck on that. Let's see, is there anything in here I want to sell? Let's see. Seems like most of it. So I made it a little ways into this game. Let's see. But you'll notice if you've played the remake, a lot of the same stuff here. So we're going to store some of our money. It is missing some of the stuff from some of the newer games and remakes. I don't get a bonus for storing money there. I'm going to check this board here. Okay. Now, when I opened up the mail in this game, when I started up this stream originally, we had some frame rate issues, unfortunately. We got a bunch of stuff for the woods there, the Sinister Woods, as you can see there. But I actually think I'm going to try and go to Mount Thunder. I did level up a bit a day or two ago on this, because obviously we're going to hit some lightning Pokemon, and Totodile not too amenable to that. But this is the next plot dungeon. I do like the instrumentation, even if they were a little bit constrained by having to cross-port this to the Game Boy Advance. Now, the worst starter you could pick for this would usually be a grass Pokemon, since you have to fight the 3 legendary birds from Generation 1. Alright. So let's see here. Controls are a little bit different than what you might have remembered. There we go. Now, one thing this has that the later Mystery Dungeon games do not have, at least not regularly, is a low-level attack that you can use to, in place of, to sort of, like right there, you can see I used a attack that's weaker than even like some of the stuff like Tackle. Let's see. Interesting stereo effects there on the attack. Let's see what we got. And our scratch will be... There we go. The choir sample there goes up and down, which is kind of interesting. So since I did grind for this, I am proceeding relatively quickly through this dungeon, rather than trying to fight everything to gain extra levels. Hopefully we're well enough prepared, or we'll get stomped by some of the electric Pokemon later in here. A lot of misses here for whatever reason. Now, if you've played the remake, there's a lot of stuff that was added in there that you will absolutely not see in here. The moves don't really get that much better. There isn't that system that the later Mystery Dungeon games have. Let's see here. There we go. That Cacnea is taking its time there to get over here. It has to grow a fair bit. One thing I try to do is to not, you know, step right next to them so that they have to come to me a little bit so that I get a... There we go. Get a... I'm not sure exactly where I want to go, but the turn stuff works out okay. Okay, let's see. Remember, there's a... But you'll notice a lot of stuff that has been very common, not only to roguelikes, but to this series. There's a belly system. Yeah, the music for this one is kind of give it somewhat remote, a little bit mysterious in there. There we go. Okay, we got a Stantler. This is a Gen 3 game, so I think the only reference to anything beyond Gen 3 is there is a Lucario rank of for some reason. Okay. I think when I originally played this game, I didn't rely on moves as much, but now I kind of, in this playthrough, I've been more. Okay, we leveled up. Our Totodile leveled up to up 4, up 2. There we go. Good stuff. Yeah, so this is what's known as a roguelike. So all of the actual, like, floors, oh, that was nice. That long road leading to a dead end. You don't see that too often. Usually there are like some parameters they can use to generate the actual maps. Ugh. Boy, this is not going well. Let's hate to use them. That's the old Mystery Dungeon strategy, you know, let your partner do the actual work. Yeah, there are different parameters that'll give, like, the things and structures in terms of how big each floor is, how much, you know, connecting stuff there is versus other stuff. Well, okay. Definitely eating that here. There we go. Yeah, not much point in that. Pecha Berry. Special conditions can be really... Oops, I'll pick up the money. Oh, that's nice. May as well. I could try and walk around that Stantler. But, yeah, roguelikes have been around since maybe the 70s, but definitely at least the 80s. And I do remember playing a roguelike before I played games in this series. I got a... Nice. Yep, super effective. And I know how brutal they can be. This one, to be honest, they've made later ones easier, which I think is actually a good thing. I think some folks were thrown off that this is a bit too much sometimes as of a pure roguelike. So let's see. Kind of like the throwing sound there. You know, it's your standard sort of thing. There we go. Yeah, the rocks, I think those ones do the same amount of damage every time. Gravel or rock. What's odd is later in the game you get the Geopebble, which strangely actually does less damage. Yeah, pretty much every move has some sort of, like, unless it is literally a 100% accuracy. Special conditions can be really nasty in these, as you might guess. Right now, Meowth has a Petra Scarf to prevent poisoning. And of course, you can use the little dash mechanics here to explore more quickly. Alright, move. And of course, static. Okay, thanks for the corner move there. Alright, let's see. Pretty soon here, I'm gonna have to use a... There we go. Alright, looking at the map, which you can see in the top left. So yeah, DS games on the Wii U are kind of interesting. They have all these little features, I guess you could say. There we go. Various ways you can lay out the image. For some screen capture, I've had to basically use, tate or vertical mode, so the screens are congruous with each other. There we go, finally. Now your teammates... Let's see here. I must have... This is one of those ones that's taken a while to complete this floor just because I'm getting turned around a lot and finding the exit. Sometimes you find it quickly, sometimes you don't. That's fun. There we go. Unfortunately. Yeah, if this were one of the more modern games, I would very much have expected Totodile to just use the super effective move. But, yeah, definitely not as intelligent as in the later games. It looks like we have a very narrow... Now, this is where the ability to improve... Alright, thank you. Really helps, because you do get a little bit of an accuracy boost as you use the moves more. Alright, well now I really gotta use a max elixir. Alright. Really helps with moves like... Oh, sheesh. This seems to be one of the unfortunate reasons you will lose in these games, is that, my goodness. I'm sorry, was my accuracy dropped? I don't think so. Ugh. Is that you'll just whiff a bunch of attacks in a row for seemingly no reason. I mean, this has gotten, pretty ridiculous here on this floor. Alright, well we should, hopefully... No? Ugh, okay. I am looking at the map in the top left now. Now I'm getting hungry. Well... Kind of avoiding comment. What do we get here? Return, huh? Alright. figured it probably would. Let's see what returns. Guess I haven't built enough happiness for that to really matter. Okay, well, we do have plenty of apples. And bizarrely, it does not use the super effective move. That's niche. Alright, well, if we sneak up from this way, we shouldn't have to fight Manectric. There we go. Alright. So we do get a midway point here. And unfortunately, we only get to save. We cannot actually take things in and out of storage, which is fun. Interesting, they have little periods at the end of that. Yes, no. Is that supposed to make it more dramatic? The bells here give this a little more of a you're coming up to something feel. Still related, as you can tell from listening. To the earlier piece. Let's slow down a bit. Now let me just show this here, since I don't think I'll have a... Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't also give you the AC. There's all these sort of little nice things. I don't want to complain too much. This was a fun game at the time, but mechanically, they've definitely made some improvements in the remake. Now, if I remember correctly, actually, if you have a Gligar, it's weak to lightning in this stage of the game for some bizarre reason, even though it should be immune. Okay. Let's see. Probably want to make sure we eat this. Okay, yeah, IQ, there are gummies, they work rather differently. Okay, let's see. There we go. Yeah, given the sort of level of brutality that we're seeing here, I'm not sure how well we'll stand up to Zapdos. Yeah, if it has to go corner-wise, it seems like it pretty consistently uses that, but otherwise it uses... There we go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, luckily they aren't using too many electric moves, or Totodile would be in a lot more trouble, but... And you can kind of see the amount of times that I whiff on this is just kind of ridiculous. Yes, approaching danger sound in this music. I like that. Yeah, and it's not even nice enough to yeah, unfortunately, the only throwing items. We must have had a seed that I could throw to mess with. So let's see if we can make this happen. Don't think I have anything that'll help there, so I think it's just throwing more gravel rocks. I really don't even want to get that close to Zapdos. Do have a couple reverse seeds, as you can see in there, so we'll have another chance. Alright, and it revives, which I think makes sense. See, I think I have 2 reviver seeds left. Now, agility, I've... Alright, we did actually get it. I wasn't really sure with the weakness and stuff. I do like the inhale-exhale of this theme that's used at the end of most of the missions. So yeah, a little bit of a story. You know, the story behind most of the Mystery Dungeon games is, in fact, that you are a human transferred into a Pokemon. Hill of the Ancients. Yes, Xatu. They make good use of a lot of the Pokemon to tell the story here. Xatu. Now, I don't think I'm going to go straight there with this one, even though, unfortunately, the theme used for that one is one of my favorites in this particular game. In part because I don't want to advance the story too far just yet. You know, they really do take some, like, storytelling risks and stuff like that, things that they would never do in a main series game. And I do think that both musically and otherwise this has sort of had an effect on the general Pokemon games, just because this side series is so popular. Alright, let's see what we get here. Great Canyon, yes, that's the name of the stage. Great dynamics. Let's see here. Like I said, I would go off there, but that would advance the story to a part that makes it really hard to go back for a while without spoiling too much of the story. Okay, we can definitely get rid of this use TM. I don't know why they don't just get rid of it entirely, and then this plain seed, I certainly won't need that. Let's see, yeah, probably a big apple is probably a good thing to buy. See, the stun seed, you would never want to eat this yourself. You would probably actually throw this at like a boss to mess it up for a turn or two. Nothing particularly useful at the moment. Okay. Store most of this money. Maybe not most, but... yes. So let's see. This is how you get new places. It, like I said... okay, that's probably good enough for now. I do like this town and this theme. This has sort of become the main Mystery Dungeon theme. A little slower version of it, as you see, Whiskash. One thing I'd like to make sure we get at least a little bit in is the animated short that went with this game. They really did push this a little harder than some other side games. I mean, yes, Pokemon Ranger technically got a movie. So we have a lot of these Sinister Wood ones. Cherry Berry, huh? So we got a lot of stuff in the Sinister Woods. So we're going to do that, I think, as a second dungeon here. Let me just see. One of my items. Do I have a cherry? Yes, I do. I have 2 of them. Okay, so I should be good there if anything should happen. We're going to head to the Sinister Woods as sort of our second dungeon for this game. As you can see, it's pretty close to town. Monsters are a little bit easier here. This one takes a little bit of time to get going before the real melody comes in. And there it is, yeah, the synth strings. Kind of all over the place, really. Alright, it's taking us a little more time to find the exit. And there's Wonder Tiles. Okay, since seeing as how I don't have... yeah, looking at my... let's see, items. What do we got here? We probably want to swap. And then... okay, yeah. So the way the IQ system works is as you get more stuff, you have more sort of like secondary skills. Might as well, I guess, eat that. Blast Seed, okay. Notice there's a bit more food lying around on this one. Let's see, I think this is going to attack us right away anyway, so we may as well hit Cascoon there. So if you ever, let's see, let me just check mission objectives. Okay, 7 is the first one that has one. And a lot of apples here. Let's see, other stuff that's going on. Today I went back to Pegasus Games for the first time in a while. They have opened up their gaming room at least once or twice a week, which is nice. Now that the long-standing event hasn't gone on. So I did get to play a couple games. Let's see, let's use this radar orb. That should tell us, yep, where the enemies are on the map. Okay, dead end there. You do a bit more damage to knock that out, and there we go. Ah, yes. Yeah. Sort of gives you that danger is all around you feeling from the music in this stage. Using a couple other places, I think all the places where you get Alright, this should be our first destination floor. Okay. You know, that would be... That string part there is really interesting. And no trouble saying full on this one. Okay, so we do have to... I'm trying to think if I've seen one where it really dislikes that gummy, and I'm not sure there is one. We found the exit, but we need to find our Pokemon that we're trying to rescue here. Still not there, and ugh. That's always fine. I think there's less of this in some of the newer games where you go through a long path like I just did, and it's like, nope! Dead end. At least we're getting more experience. Let's see. There we go. And you know, all the Pokemon have funny little phrases based on their species and whatnot. So it turns out we went. Let's see. There's Weedle. I think that's the one we have to get. Okay. And unfortunately, oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad. But you have to do this because the Pokemon you have to rescue moves around for some reason. I think they've. No, plenty more there. Alright, now we go back on our merry way to the stairs. I had an arrangement like this a day or two ago when I was pre-playing this, where the, yes, Quick Dodger. Let's see. Okay, can't go there yet. Have to... Well, first of all, take care of that Wooper. It is a little bit odd that, you know, now that you can see all the Pokemon, they're basically out to get you for no apparent reason. So, So yeah, despite not being very effective. Oh, I think... Yes, I think that Oddish is yes. I can just see the color on the screen here. That tells you whether that's a... So we gotta figure out how to... There we go. So we had a cherry berry. And unfortunately, the regular berries are not worth much in terms of filling up your belly in this one. It's like the gummies, the apples, and that's about it. There we go. Yeah, get used to that, because I think the next... Yeah, I think that's getting maybe a little bit better, although it was a very different situation. See, what's up at the top there? Just a... Okay, just a blast seed, so nothing too special. Well... Every time that string synth comes in, okay, now we start at the exit, but like I said, let me just double check. What's our objective? Okay, we gotta find a Stantler in here. And unfortunately, Quick Attack is ranged, as are all priority moves are... Probably should have tried to get a max elixir, but at the shop if there was one. Fortunately, there wasn't a good way around that. There's Stantler. I think it's up here. Okay, we got off track here. And unfortunately, that one is back there. Alright. So that's probably our destination right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can see how difficult this is. You kind of got to think about it. There we go. Okay, I think that just leaves... Yes, 12 for Metatite. I think another change, actually, I remember correctly in the remake, is that this level I actually would have had a fairly full map on this one. To go with for the earlier parts of the game to make that a little bit easier. May as well use this. Tells us where the items are on the floor. It's kind of sad when your default move does about as much as the return there. But you do get more points if an actual move is used against an enemy Pokemon. Ah, Meditite, okay. Well, if only I had some bites left, I could use that on this Executor. Alright, let's see. Oh, I had it and I think I lost it there. I think this is actually the last floor, but I'd like to see what those other items are if I can. Yeah, so let's see what do we got here. Just a seed. Nothing good there. Yeah, water gun cuts corners, so it can do that. Alright, doesn't look like there's anything good left, so let's just head for the exit. Now you may be wondering, well, what keeps you from just battling indefinitely on all levels, especially since you have a generic attack? Well, eventually the wind or something like that will come through. Yep. Oh, nope, this is the end of it. Yeah, it uses the town theme here instead of the which is used in the newer game. So still relatively low level. Oh, the escape orb. I'll have to make sure I get another one there. You always want to have an escape orb. Good items there, though. You know, the heal seed will, heal a lot of different stuff. So that gives you a idea of a couple dungeons. Alright, well, let's see here. Let's switch over. Pun not quite intended. Let's see it. Win the sleep, of course. There we go. It looks like it should be switching over now. If I can find... Let's see. I did plug in the... there it is. Alright, so hopefully this switch all worked correctly. Okay, seems like it has from the preview, so that's good. Switching from one song to basically the same song. And I am Meowth, although I have a different partner Pokemon for this game. It's interesting how this song remains faithful to what was from the original version, but still manages to enhance it a fair bit. You notice there's obviously more camera work than there was in the original game. Notice that shadow there comes and goes. Let's see what we got here. Find one particular box. Okay, you notice I did not need to do too much special there. This is all post-game, so let's see what we got here. Let's see, probably don't need 2 things of iron spikes, geopebbles. Now, if you listen closely to a lot of the tracks in Remake, which I think might have actually been created earlier in like some of the 3DS games as bonus content, there still are little cues to this being, you know, it's chiptune-y heritage. Let me take a look at my accepted jobs and see what might be a good place to go. Always try to... I don't think I've got anything quite like what we saw in the forest stage there, but I think this will work. I do like the hand-drawn colored pencil type style that they used for this one. I think it's really nice, really good remake, and I think I honestly prefer it for various reasons to the original. Let me see, Meteor Cave. Ah, yes, this is the All Deoxys dungeon. Alright, well, I do have, I think, a very... It's that one, but I think I have something that's a little more dark-focused. Yeah, all the pre-built teams. Okay, I think this one, yeah, this one should work out nicely. We only have to make it to floor 9, but you're going to get a lot of Deoxys in here. Ah, yeah, it's got this weird phantom thing going. And one nice thing is that I can go here. Yeah, unfortunately they all have pressure. So sparkling. Ah, crud, it's another Deoxys. Oh, that's always fun. Ah, it's a defense form, so of course it's got more HP. Well, it went somewhere else on the thing there. We don't really care. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Some of the drums are kind of lo-fi, but the bells are nice. Alright, so here's the destination floor. And I gotta talk to Gengar. I don't think that's literally the one from Team Meanies, but I could be wrong on that. Alright, we did get it, so we gotta find this Gengar. Now the picture there, which we would not have gotten in the original game, that hopefully gives us a better idea. Fence form. Now the efficient bandana allows me to not use as many... Well, let's use the iron spike. Ah, credit caught it. They can do that, especially the smarter ones. Okay, so that'll be our exit to the next level, but I think... Honestly, I kind of almost prefer this. Yeah, those maxed ethers are going to be important here. Let's see. Gives us a little bit... Yeah, I think they always catch stuff, so let's see. Let's throw this Geopebble. Yep. And let's use an... Nope, no, 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 no. I don't know why it went there. I guess it wrapped around, but... There you go. Yeah, so that's one way you can conserve stuff when you have the Pokemon with pressure all around you, like in this dungeon. Ugh. And you can see my Meowth, which is, I guess, my main... There we go. So, still not finding that Gengar. There it is. We're going to try to get up to floor 9, which is our other one. I do find it's easier to get through some of these if you have stuff every few levels. Alright, let's use our... It's probably a faster way to do this. Alright. And there's 20 floors to this dungeon, and... Oh, it's asleep. Good. Yeah, this is definitely one of the more aggravating or pestery ones. And at least we got that. Of course, these are all at level 100. I think some of my other Pokemon do get something out of this, but... And you can see they've made much better use of the, Yeah, nothing I really want to swap for that I don't already have. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, traps are definitely in this remake as well. We didn't get to really see much of anything in the previous one. Okay, well... Okay. Yeah, you notice that very constant amount of experience I'm getting. Eh. And one of the many uses... Yeah, I didn't realize I had lost that much HP. Well... let's do that, yes. No, I don't need that, thank you. Apparently I cannot actually walk. Yeah, you go somewhere else. It's probably the same one. Stun scene, okay. As much as, you know, I like conserving my power points, at this point I just kind of want to, you know... Imagine if you have to go through all 20 floors here. let's switch characters. Makes this much easier. I'm not sure exactly how far you have to get in the game to... One of the most annoying things, I do like this game, but there's definitely some annoying aspects to the roguelike genre. But anything where you miss a lot like that is not particularly fun. And feels kind of cheap, so... We had a lot of that here. It's not quite as bad, or in the original version. It's not maybe quite as bad in the remake. Ah, the Nullify Bandana. That's another way you can mess with the Deoxys, by throwing that at them, and then that nullifies their ability, and you just pick it up again. Let's see, is this a real... Okay, let's see, your attack, huh? Now, you notice Meowth has a helm that lets me see traps on the floor. Alright, what do we got here? Night Slash. Yeah, I'll just go somewhere else. So yeah, this is not a dungeon I recommend going to on a lark. So it looks like that's probably on towards the left end of the... But one thing that does help with the evasion stuff is that your moves will, as you use them more... Thanks, I don't need to be healed from a taunt. There we go. But this version of the theme is a bit more impressive. Yes, we are leaving now. I do not recommend playing this one for funsies. If it weren't for the two ones that were relatively early. As you can see, I'm at one of the very high ranks there. You do kind of have to feel bad for poison Pokemon that are stuck in a dungeon full of psychics, so... Yeah, it doesn't really have the IQ system either. Funny, it does kind of say that even if neither of those Pokemon were on your team. Alright, let's try a few more places. Let's see where our mail takes us. You know, despite all the little changes they managed to not really slow the game down too much. Cherry Berry at Sky Tower. Okay. Don't think I have too much else at Sky Tower. I usually wait till I have at least a couple places on here. to go to. Probably don't need that many stun seeds. Now remember how I said in the original game you don't get any bonuses for depositing stuff? Okay, I got an apple out of that. Nothing, there's never anything too great. Maybe a reviver seed at best, but can you get on Munchlax's way? There we go. Yeesh. Oh, I guess we can give it some food. Hey, let me give you an apple. You can get all sorts of stuff there. Some of the, like the Munch Belt and some other things. Yeah, this part is much quieter, isn't it? So I'm trying to find one where I have some things. I don't want to, you know, go forever without a thing in there. You can also see some special purpose dungeons in there. I kind of do want to go to that Great Canyon. Unfortunately, the thing there is really short. But you know what? I think we'll be okay here. One of my favorite tracks in the game, we should at least see it there. Nice little shortcut here, back to the other side. Oh, yes. Yeah, I can see all of what's in there. It looks like I have everything, except maybe that Ambipom. Recruited. Probably doesn't matter with these levels exactly what I pick, so let's pick something a little more diverse like this team. Yeah, I should have no problems knocking out. You notice here that because this is an earlier part of the game, I do have, you know, pretty good radar already. Love this song. It does have a Mountain West type of vibe to it, or like Southwest. But not in the same way that some of the stuff like in the dungeon, or in the Coliseum game, you know. So yeah, pretty easy there. We'll stay in this for a little bit longer. The map can be pretty useful though here, you know, knowing where items are and stuff like that. This isn't far enough into the game where we get monster houses, but you can tell if they're arranged in a somewhat irregular pattern in a room somewhere. Pretty good idea that's a monster house. Now I don't think Discharge was in the original game, because pretty sure that's a 4th gen move. There's only about 10 or so floors in this, if I remember correctly. 10 or 12. May as well take a bite of that. You know, usually, you think there's a lot of nostalgia with sprite art games, but I'm not sure if they were just really limited with things or what. But I really appreciate the style of this remake. As you can kind of tell, I kind of recommend the remake both mechanically and visually, and to a certain extent even sound-wise over the original, which is kind of unusual. Alright, well with that little picture preview we know exactly where we need to go. Pretty much a wagon train type of feel. Or maybe exploration. Now you see that little crown mark? That means we have this stage's tough Pokemon. Let's see here. It must be asleep because it's not moving. So let's see. A lot more UI hints in this one as well. I can sort of tell from the... There we go. And this probably won't be too tough. Yeah, it wasn't too difficult. Let's swap this for something we can spare here. So now we see those in a rather nice pattern. That is almost certainly a shop. I'm glad we got to hear this one, the on-floor shop. Alright, let's see. There's some items here we really... Let's see. We're going to drop it there. Make up some room for other stuff. I do like the elevator-y music on this one. See, time we don't really need more of those. Let's pick that up. For the apple, though, just in case we hit another Pokemon we need to revive. And you don't usually expect to make a profit on these. The Kecleon, I mean, I think in pretty much all of the Mystery Dungeon games they are used as the shopkeepers, so... Ah, yes, the spiky trap. It's supposed to be called a coconut trap in the in the original version. That sound effect is good. We should talk some about that as well. It sort of says, "Hey, something important. Pay attention." But not necessarily something dangerous. In fact, it's something good because it lets you boost your moves more quickly. Okay, what do we got here? I feel like I could listen to this song, maybe not all day, but it's really, like I said, one of the standout tracks here. It's definitely one I'm going to pick for our discussion that I'm still trying to schedule with Anne, kind of unfortunately, but hopefully we'll have that for you soon. Citrus berry. So the fun thing about these, we're going to give this to someone who needs to. Yeah, so that should actually have an effect on its maximum HP ongoing. Okay, this might be the last one. Yes. So you notice here there wasn't nothing left here. Not nearly as many, because this just wasn't nearly as tough of a mission. You can see it barely moved. I think you had to look really close there. Alright, I think we're going to take care of one more dungeon. Okay, let's read our mail. What do we got here? A special gift. Got a... Okay, so where was that for? Save my child. Yeah, Purity Forest is one of those special rule dungeons that I don't think we're going to handle anytime soon here. Like, I think it's one of the ones where you start at a low level or something. Let's see what we got here. Oh, now we get one through Great Canyon, of course. Not going back to... yes. Well, just so we can do a comparison, we're going to go to the Dark Knight Relic. Because this does use the same song that was used for that forest place. We're going to go back to our dark team here. Shedinja. Okay, we want to... Ooh, yeah, this is a fun one where the Pokemon can actually knock out other Pokemon in there. So, we're going to actually throw a Pebble in there. Because otherwise, another Pokemon will knock that thing out and try and use it. Okay. Okay, so luckily I had enough HP to survive that. Yeah, we might want to use the Oranberry there. And because we've got a couple Pokemon on our tail, we're just going to head over to the next one. Well, that's good. Thanks, Meowth. And now this one... Yeah, it can Mega Evolve, so that's in this game. Obviously not a thing when the original version was made. Yeah, a little better string sample, which I think gives it... I'm not sure exactly what the quality is to say. Alright. And let's see. Yeah. Alright, let's see here. What do we got here? Let's use an Ice Fang. There we go, yep. You can hear in this track they definitely went, oh, glad that Grudge Trap didn't work. The string sample is a little bit improved, of course, but the, you can still hear a little bit of that beeping paying homage to this fact that it was, sure, why not? Because I don't have it in the camp. Spinda, huh? Yeah, I gotta be really careful. And even though I'm level 100, these are still doing pretty good damage on me. Now here I have all the friend areas unlocked. Ooh. Poor Shedinja. I'm not sure why they picked that to be the victim around here. Okay, I mistakenly thought that... Oh, it's trying to knock out the Shedinja, which only takes damage from certain moves because it's got Wonder Guard. We'll put this one out of its misery? Alright, let's take care of the Spinda. Okay. No, sorry, Spinda. Looks like we've already got one of you. Okay, let's see. Let's throw a Iron Spike. There we go. Alright, really apologize here, but I have to take care of something quick. Alright, hi, we're back. Appreciate your patience. Oh, that's fun. Having the stuff, like, out of the range like that really does, keep you on your toes. Things that go bump in the night. And, you know, good use of stuff like stereo and stuff like that. And, you know, now that we're in the ancient ruins portion of this, I mean, this song is definitely in the original. I'm almost sure of it. Kind of expecting, like, it's still kind of a little haunting. Also, maybe like a trap could spring at any moment. It's like, that summon trap. Like, thankfully, that did not work. Okay, Mega Bayonet. Little xylophone, I think, in the background there. Yeah, sorry if my headset is making a little bit of noise. It almost feels like it's got some weird, I don't know if crinkle is the right word. Pretty soon here on the Switch. Prankster. Yeah, there were abilities back then. You saw me get staticked a couple times in the original game. Oh dear. Alright, so, Grudge Trap, that means I'll lose power points on anything that gets attacked here, so, for our businesses. Yeah, no effect there, so, making it out pretty good with this one. There we go. So, yeah, by using items, of course, I was able to subvert the, effects of that. Okay, Pidgey. Okay, so we can be done with this one. Well, I have a great use for that apple. There we go. Okay, I just gotta find Pidgey, and then we're... Oh. So yeah, flip the tables here. Guess I could have had Absol at that and gone to Mega Absol. Sorry for not showing you that. See, though, I do just monster damage on that. Yes. The music here is very nice, but I don't have enough to talk about it for that long live, but yeah. So yeah, a long way to go before... I don't know if the Lucario rank is in this one. I kind of hope it is. And yeah, since this is the post-game, it obviously keeps going like this. There are more dungeons that I could try and finish up and stuff like that. But yeah, so to be honest, I really like what they did with the music in this thing. Even though, like I said, I think some of the 3DS ones, if you dig through the menus and some of the bonus content, you will get it. But overall, very happy with what they did here. It's very faithful, but also kind of new and interesting. And I just really like it. So I'm looking forward to talking about this stuff in full relatively soon. But until then, all right, folks, thanks.